Good morning, Mrs. Mitchell.
Hi, Mrs. Wayman. Gosh, what a beautiful hat.
Well, thank you. You know, I've been thinking a lot about you this past week. How's business?
Oh, all right, I guess. But I have a few questions. Or do you have some things to talk about first?
No. Let's hear your questions first.
Very good. It's a wise manager who listens to her representative first. That manager will learn a lot about her representative. And whether these questions are really important or not is beside the point. They are important to the representative, and she wouldn't have heard a word the manager said until those questions had been answered. Now, let's return to Mrs. Wayman.
Well, now, I'm glad we discussed this. Is there anything else that bothers you?
No, everything else is fine.
Well, then let's see how your business is growing. How many homes in your territory have you called on?
Well, I've got it right here in my territory record book. 79 calls.
That's a wonderful start, Mrs. Mitchell. Good work. And how many customers do you have?
23 sales. Orders, I guess you call them. Is that good?
Oh, that's very good. I'm so proud of you. Have you enjoyed meeting people?
Oh, yes. Now I do. But I didn't at first. I was so nervous. But you know, people are really very nice, even when they don't buy.
That's true. And these nice people will become good friends and good customers. Well, let's review. You're off to a good start, Mrs. Mitchell. Getting acquainted with every family is the only successful way to start your Avon business. So you'll want to continue to call until you've actually met everyone. And I recommend that you don't call back on anyone unless someone specifically asks you to, until you finish calling once on every house. When someone answers the door, get acquainted by using your Avon introduction. Continue to call until you've met every family in your territory. If no one is home when you call, leave a customer service reminder or perhaps a personal note, and then your call will count.
Now, I've done that, Mrs. Wayman, and no one has called me.
But they do know that you're the Avon representative ready to serve them. So you're not really a stranger when you call back. Don't worry about these not-at-home people for now. Just keep calling to get acquainted at every home. Do you remember a week ago today when I told you that I was going to tell you just enough to get started and that you would learn how to succeed as an Avon representative step by step?
Yes, I remember.
Well, today, Mrs. Mitchell, you're ready to take a second step with 2 new Avon sales aids. 5 callback brochures and a Get Acquainted product. As you make your Get Acquainted calls, there will be times when you're not invited in because of these excuses. I'm too busy, I buy from a friend, I'm not interested, or I use another brand.
I've heard those already.
I'm sure you have. But now when you hear one of these excuses, you have an Avon sales aid to offer. Just say, I'll leave a brochure with you and be back tomorrow to pick it up. Now, Mrs. Mitchell, it's going to be very important to keep these 5 callback brochures circulating each day in your territory. So be sure to note the location and pickup date in your territory record book.
You know, I think I'm going to keep track of how much I earn on each of those smaller brochures. Then I'll know if I want to order some myself.
That's a wonderful idea. Many of our representatives have proven the earning power of these callback brochures by keeping a record of the amount of business they create. The new product that I have for you today, Mrs. Mitchell, is unscented hairspray. I would like you to use this product the same way that you're going to use the 5 callback brochures. To get acquainted with a lady who does not invite you in. We're fortunate at Avon because we have a constant flow of new and exciting products. And our successful representatives have found that when you show a lady a product that is going to make her look more fashionable, prettier, or younger, and then ask for her opinion, I have a new product I'd like your opinion on. You create instant conversation.
Yes, I can see that. It's going to be nice to have the callback brochures and the new product to show people.
But don't be disappointed if you don't make a lot of sales. Just remember to be pleasant and friendly and get acquainted with every family in your territory. Now, to earn your first representative award, you'll want to complete this objective by 2 weeks from today. If you continue to average about 15 calls a day or 75 calls a week, you will complete it. and I'll be happy to award you the Avon calling pin.
I'm certainly going to try. I'd love to have that pin.
It's easy for you to order from Avon, Mrs. Mitchell. Have you had a chance to look at your order blank?
Yes, I looked it over.
Do you have any questions about it?
No, I read the folder, How to Prepare Your Order Blank. But I did wonder, is it possible to order the extra earnings demonstration assortment instead of the regular one?
Only in addition to the regular one, not instead of. Now you're going to have a lot more help at our Avon meetings. You'll make new friends, learn new selling ideas, learn about new products, and enjoy yourself. We always have a good time, too. We all learn together and enjoy it.
And I've heard it helps a lot to talk to the other representatives.
Of course it does. And you're an important member of our group, and we want to know you better. Remember, our meeting is at 1 o'clock on Monday at the Willow Inn. If you have a friend who is interested in joining Avon, perhaps you'd like to bring her to this meeting. What about your PTA friend whose name you were going to get?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. But I'll find out for sure and let you know.
Thank you. I'll call you for her name this evening. Well, your Avon business is really growing. Calling on every family is the only successful way to build your business. Remember, every call that you make, Mrs. Mitchell, is an investment in your future. So continue to call on every home in your territory to complete this first objective. And we agreed that this would be done by 2 weeks from today on the 26th. That's the day I'll be back to see you to give you some more help. Is 9 in the morning convenient?
This 1-week Step 2 call is an important one. It gives you an opportunity to remotivate the representative and strengthen your working relationship with her. It gives the representative an opportunity to ask questions and express her own personal reaction to the first week of activity. Listening to the representative at the beginning of this call is not only a courtesy, but will free her mind to absorb your helpful guidance.